All right. Now we're going to talk about topic 11.8, which is dealing with coordinate planes and like plotting points and that sort of thing. Okay? Because of this is just easier for me to do on graph paper, so I've kind of changed the format for our videos. So instead of my face, you'll get to see my beautiful hands. It's amazing. It should be a hand model. Anyways, okay, so before you even get started, we need to talk about some vocabulary that goes along with the coordinate plane. Okay, first of all, this is a coordinate plane. Okay, we've got two lines. We've got this axis, which runs horizontally, and we've got this axis, which runs vertically. Okay, the one that runs horizontally is the x-axis. Okay, the one that runs vertically is the y-axis. Okay, y down here, x over there. All right, so that is very, very important to remember. Okay, x-axis is the horizontal axis. The y-axis is the vertical. Okay, now a couple other vocabulary things, or vocabulary words that we need to understand is, first of all, where the x-axis and the y-axis meet is this point in the middle. Okay, that is called the origin. And I'm pretty sure I misspelled that, but it's origin. I'm pretty sure that's an I. Okay, so where they meet, okay, and if we were doing the coordinates for that, it would be 0, 0, but we'll get to that later, okay? But that point in the middle is the origin, okay? And then on the coordinate plane, it's divided into 4 sections. We've got this section right here, we've got this section right here, this section, and this section. Each of those 4 sections is called a quadrant, okay? And each quadrant is has a different number associated with it, okay? This quadrant right here, okay, I know it looks like an I, but in order of it, to label quadrants, they're numbers, but we use Roman numerals to identify them. Okay, so this is actually quadrant number 1. Okay, we start here. And then from there we work counterclockwise. So this is 1. Now we're going to go counterclockwise, which is the opposite way that a clock moves. So we're going to go over here next. This one's 2. Okay, then we go down. This one's 3. Okay, and then this is quadrant number 4. Okay, so we have 4 quadrants. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, the quadrants go counterclockwise. Okay, quick review of vocabulary. X-axis, y-axis, quadrants, and then the center point is the origin. Okay, and as you set up your coordinate planes, so we're going to put numbers. So think about the x-axis as a number line. You've set up number lines before. Okay, the origin is going to be 0. Okay, so if I was setting up a number line, then if this is 0, this would be 1, this would be 2, and I don't know how you can see that, but I am doing this on graph paper, so I'm just kind of doing it where the graph lines are. That would be 3 and then 4. Okay, so setting up this way, that would be, if this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, what would go over here? Okay, well, if I'm setting up another line, we got some negatives, -1, -2, -3, -4. Okay, so just like a regular number line. Now for the y-axis, well, we've got 0, so everything above 0 is going to be what, positive or negative? It'll be positive. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And then everything below the 0 would be what type of number? A negative. -1, -2, -3, -4. Okay, so that's how we would set this up. All right, so now I've already got one set up. We're going to move on to plotting points on the coordinate plane, okay? So I've already got my coordinate plane drawn. I've already labeled that, and a lot of times these will already be labeled and done for you. I just had to create one for the demonstration. All right, so they'll give you a point. So say they want you to, okay? All right, so these are coordinates, okay? Basically, it's 2 numbers that we're going to plot on here that represent a point. Basically, a point is 1 dot on this coordinate plane. Okay, so we've got two numbers. We've got 3 and we've got 1. All right, in our coordinates, they're always written in the same order. The number that represents the x-axis goes first, and the number that represents the y-axis goes next. Okay, and I sometimes have to stop and think, okay, which order is it? I always have to remind myself, well, alphabetically, x comes before y. Okay, so if you get stuck, just kind of remember, alphabetically, x comes before y. Okay, so what does this mean? Okay, so 3 is on the x-axis. So that's telling us x-axis, that means horizontally. Okay, so we always start at the origin. Okay, 0, 0. Okay, then we go to 3. Okay, not -3, +3. So we're going to go over here to 3. Okay, that's the x-axis. Now the y-axis tells us to go to 1. So here's the 1, here's the 3. We go to where those 2 points meet, or those 2 basically lines meet. Okay, so this point, it's 3 over and then 1 up. That point, these are the coordinates describing this point. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, now we've got -4 and 2. Okay, so remember, the x is first, so the point on the x-axis is -4. Okay, so let's go -1, -2, -3. Oh, didn't even put -4 on there. Okay, so on the x-axis I go to -4, and then the y-axis is 2. So then I go where -4 and then 2 meet, which would be right here. Okay, so that's the point that these coordinates are describing. Okay, so a lot of times they'll give you the coordinates and then you'll just have to plot where those coordinates would be. Okay, other times they'll give you a point and say point A. What are the coordinates for point A? Okay, so again, that means they want those 2 numbers that describe where this point is. Okay, so first we look, okay, well the first number is where it's located on the x-axis. So how far over is that? Well, here. Okay, well that goes over 2. Okay, so 2 is my first point. And then the y-axis would be my next number. So basically, how far down does it go? Well, it goes down to -2. Okay, so 2, -2 are the coordinates for point A. All right, so that is probably about all you need for chapter 11.8. So good luck with that.